That is a ridge. That is the McGinnis Ridge. See the bare hilltop right in front of me. And I'm taking a bill back to the McGinnis Ridge after how many years? 50.
Oh, for me it'd be
54 years.
54 years or
Yeah.
so. 1966.
Yeah.
And it wasn't called McGinnis Ridge. I didn't even know it was, there was a McGinnis Ridge until I read it in history books. So that name must have come later, or maybe it was then there. I just don't have any recollection of it. Even like for the rock pile, I don't know if that's what it was called then. I received more information from reading about it in the Marine Corps, official Marine Corps history of it, than I did with my very poor and failing memory. But one reason I like to at least go to areas that have mountain ridges in them is they haven't changed. They're the same. Anything that's in the more flat areas down in the Tranton Valley and out towards the coast there, north of Hue, they could bring me right to the spot and say, this is where you were, and I wouldn't recognize it. It's over half a century ago. That sounds more dramatic. But up here, I remember the ridge line. I don't remember so much of this in here. I forgot. I believe they brought us up there by helicopter, but I wouldn't even say that. So everything I'm saying is pretty much anecdotal, as best I can remember it. Whether we walked up and back, I don't remember, but I do remember we came into helicopters, on helicopters down to
the bottom of the rock pile.
Bottom of the rock pile, and my enlistment was up. I was still short on my my tour duty over here, but my time had run out, and they had to get me back to the States. I had about a month to go, so this is where I left, and so I have a better memory of it than others because I was going home. And
see on the left is the Razorback. Now I'm driving at the bottom of Razorback and heading towards the McGinnis Ridge. I'm heading north to the former DMZ.
Perhaps I should say why we were at McGinnis Ridge on, for me for sure, the conclusion of Operation Hastings, which I probably didn't know the name of even then, and we were used as a blocking force because the helicopter valley's on the other side of the ridge,
right?
And roughly speaking, and we originally went into the north end. And I think I told Vu in a previous recording, we landed at Crow or the other one, Robin.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which. And I'm taking all this from the history books because it's better than my memory. And we had a blocking force there. The contact was probably more intense there than it was on this side. And I can remember, again, I don't remember, I should say, looking at the history books, we pretty much were on that ridge line. That's 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines. I think 3-5 was to our right flank, or maybe further down the ridge line. And I think 1-1 then was moved up to their right flank, if I recall correctly. So we had this sort of all blocked off. We originally came up into, they pulled us off of some operation or whatever we were doing in the Tranton area, north of Hue, trucked us back to back to Phu, put us on 130s and brought us up to Dong Ha. We had perimeter defense there, and we were in reserve for the 4th Marine regiments or 4th Marine battalions that were up here. And I think then they moved us, why they did it, I have no idea. They brought 1-1 up from Phu Bai or wherever they were and relieved us, and we went over, I believe, to Cam Lo. And then I believe from there we came up to the rock pile. I'm pretty sure it was by helicopters because I don't think the road was open at the time. Again, just my recollection of it. Please don't hold me to anything I'm saying. I could be dead wrong on all.
And how long did you operate in this area, Bill?
Maybe 3 days.
Only 3 days?
Maybe a little longer, but it wasn't very long.
Mainly along on the Mutters Ridge or in the Shongan River or Helicopter Valley?
Mutters Ridge.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I doubt if we were ever in the valley. That blocking force where we came in from the north east side was not in the valley. We were blocking exits to let the North Vietnamese get out that way. And then they brought us down to this end. But we were always more or less assisting the 4th Marine. They had a name for this whole operation other than it was like Task Force something. Might have been Task Force Delta, just coming up with a name. And we were just helping them out, so to speak. The main show was with the 4th Marines. They were in the valley, or they, as I recall, they did more of the work there than we did. The heavier fighting, they were the ones that suffered that. And about all I really remember, or remember even reading. Unfortunately, I left my notes at home.
Yeah. Thank you,
before
Bill.
I came over. You bet.
Yeah.